let's talk about this Capitol Hill stuff and just the whole Trump scenario. I think he did incite the Capitol Hill raid and the riot. I don't think he meant to. That's kind of where I'm falling on it. I've seen a lot of different videos of him, and I've seen a lot of videos of like his son and all of the fucking rallies and stuff, and I kind of view him as the dude's just like he's like a businessman. He's a bit of a con artist, and he's definitely a narcissist. He absolutely thinks he's the best. He always talks about how great he is. I think that's undeniable. He's a little bit of a narcissist. He thinks he's the greatest cunt ever, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but the downfall of that is when you think you're top shit and you think that you can do no wrong, you think you can do no wrong, even accidentally. So the stuff that you say, if it's said and then it causes an incredibly negative thing, you don't even think of the possibility of that happening. So I think that he did incite the riots. Whether or not he intended to, I'm on the fence about. Here's what I think. I don't think he intended to incite the riot, but I also don't think he was particularly upset that it happened. You know what I mean? I think he just said some shit, it incited the riots, and then he was like, oh, well, sucks to be those guys. Look how much these people love me. That's fucking sick, isn't it? Like, I think that would have been his takeaway. It's not, like, if I incited that stuff accidentally, I'd be like, oh my God, I feel terrible. I got a woman killed. This is awful. My colleagues hate me. He would have gone, fuck, these people love me, don't they? That is awesome. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble. I think that might be the difference, you know? Here's my thing. I think that the Capitol riot participants, and not everyone there was there to riot because there was the crowd outside the Capitol Hill was insane. Massive, absolutely fucking huge. Like if you were the Capitol Hill cops, I would have let him in too. If it looked like 500,000 people were going to march in, I would be like, where's my red hat? I want to join these cunts, you know? I just think that the people that raided the Capitol are like, it's like a 50-50 mix between stupid and insane. Like just dumb cunts and who got swept up in the moment or believed fucking that they were actually going to achieve something, and then insane people who really were going to try and do some shit. You know, the cunt with zip ties, people who put pipe bombs there, the people that killed the cop. They're insane. And everyone who participated in it is going to do jail time, and that's what fucking happens, you know? Whether it's fucking burning down a business because you're angry at police or breaking into a fucking Capitol Hill because you think the election's been stolen, both of those things are bad, and both of those things come with jail terms, and that's the correct thing to do. All these cunts online going, oh, it's the people's house. How can you trespass in the people's house? We paid for it. Hey, bro, your taxes paid for maybe 1 millimeter of that building. If you add up everyone's contributions, sure, you get a millimeter, all right? But you can't go in the fucking door. You can't break down the door because some other cunt paid for 1 centimeter of the door. Now you owe him money, all right? Your taxes paid for the Pentagon too. You're going to go in there? Why don't you go check out Area 51, see how far you get in. Ask them if they have any aliens. You paid for it. It's yours anyway, isn't it? Fucking the dumbest fucking argument ever. Oh, I paid for the roads. I can put a fucking bomb and dig them up if I wanted to. They're mine. You're actually an idiot. If that's your argument, you're just stupid and you can't be helped. I feel sorry for them. I do and I don't. You get what you deserve, but also you got fucking conned. I think they just got sucked in by this QAnon shit, you know? Especially because they got into the Capitol, and if they really... Here's the thing. If they really truly believed that they were stopping election fraud, that they were saving the nation from a corrupt group of elite pedophiles that were destroying the planet and had this new world order, if you really truly did believe that, and if that was actually true, you would have done more than what you did. Instead, you broke into the Capitol wearing costumes and walked around taking selfies. If I really thought that on the other side of that door was some elite fucking group of pedophiles that were destroying the world and harvesting children's organs, if I truly knew that to be true, deep down in my soul, if I really, really believe that shit, I'm busting down that door. But they didn't, did they? They got in and they took fucking selfies wearing costumes. They're not committal. They got sucked in, they walked in, they got hyped up, they got lost in the moment, they got in there and they thought, fuck, I reckon that's enough, eh? This is a bit much. I don't believe in the Facebook post that much. Q's just a letter. Is he really telling me the truth? I reckon I'm going to go home. Like, they just got swept up and conned and sucked in and hyped up in the moment. And that's happened to me. I've been out with the boys and they start, and one guy smashes a letterbox. Next thing we know, my mate's putting bins on top of a motorbike and pushing it over. I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. I've thrown stones through windows because the boys were doing it. I've fucking been around while cunts were jumping on the roof of cars after house parties. I've been swept up in the moment. I've been there. We weren't wearing MAGA hats and storming a political building, but it's the same genre of whoops, probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? You get swept up in the moment. It's all a bit of fun. Smashing stuff is great fun. Breaking the law is a lot of fun. However, I was out there smashing letterboxes. They were out there killing cops with fire extinguishers. It's a little bit different, but the energy is similar. And on that point, I understand it. But on the other point, it's like, hey, you break into a government building, you're going to jail and you made your bed. How funny is that cunt who dressed up in the horns and then obviously he was from social media point of view, he was like the face of the movement, you know what I mean? He was the most viral of them. And he ends up getting locked up straight away, which is hilarious. And then he goes to prison, and then his mother is out there talking to news outlets saying that he hasn't eaten for 5 days because the prison won't serve him organic food. Hey, bro, you're in jail, all right? You're not in a fucking Melbourne cafe. You're in prison. You broke into the Capitol Hill. You're gonna eat the slop, all right? What, you're worried that there's no vegan options? There's no cruelty-free chicken? Should have thought of that before you broke into a government building, you fucking fool. That is so funny. Hilarious. I think a lot of people who broke into Capitol Hill would be absolutely disgusted at this man refusing to eat unless it's organic food. Man up, you fucking pansy. I think that it is very funny. But it is very bad. Here's also my other thoughts. I do sympathize with I don't sympathize with anyone who broke in, but I understand the frustration because I think that you can't condemn the people that did that shit at the Capitol building. I'm saying Capitol Hill. That's correct, isn't it? Or is that a different place? It's probably that Simpsons song, Capitol Hill. I might sound like a fucking moron. Capitol Hill. Let me just fact check myself once. Just this once. All right? Capitol Hill. Riot. Yes. It is Capitol Hill. Yes. Okay. So you can't condemn the Capitol Hill riot, but also defend the Black Lives Matter rioters who are different from the protesters burning down businesses. You just can't. You have to have the same stance on both of those issues. And it is insane seeing people who defended the burning down of the businesses but condemned the Capitol Hill raid. Because those two things are the same. It's destruction of property for a reason that hurts your cause. No matter what the reason behind your cause is, it hurts your cause. The Black Lives Matter people, they had a legitimate reason to protest, but the rioters fucked that up and tarnished the reason, not entirely, but did tarnish it because they were burning down businesses that had nothing to do with the reason for the protests. That is bad. Same with this Capitol Hill stuff. A lot of these fucking right-wing Trump supporters are angry about election fraud, corruption, which is incredibly debatable. But they fucked up their cause by doing that shit. It is the same shit. Now, the root causes are very different. The Black Lives Matter protests, they had a point. There is a lot of brutality. The George Floyd shit was horrific to watch. And they had their point, and that point still stands even after the business burning and all that kind of bullshit. And then you have the right side, the Trump supporters, the election fraud, and feeling unheard and feeling like they're the enemy of the people. That stuff kind of also stands. I feel like the Black Lives Matter people have more of a point, but their points still do stand, right? And I don't think you can condemn one without condemning the other. That's insane to me. That being said, I think storming the Capitol Hill might be a little bit worse. You know, trying to kill politicians might be a little bit worse. And also, it is fucking ridiculous seeing a lot of left-wing people that were so on board with the anti-police brutality, anti-police unarmed shootings, celebrate the shooting of this woman who died in the Capitol Hill raid. I think that shooting was legitimate. She's breaking the Capitol. That was the last door before the actual politicians that were there. She's staring in the face of a barrel of a gun of a police officer telling her, do not come closer, I will shoot you. She goes closer, he shoots her. Unless more footage comes to light, I don't exactly see an issue with it. Or unless more information comes to light, it seems legitimate. But it's fucking ridiculous seeing people just be overt hypocrites. And the same is true on the right, you know? All these people that were condemning the Black Lives Matter, people that were burning down businesses saying, oh, it's just a riot, they're just burning down businesses, they don't actually care about their cause. And then they're celebrating people breaking into the fucking Capitol Hill and celebrating that riot. It's like you're as bad as each other. So I think that he did incite the riot. I don't think that he meant to, because I feel like if he meant to, he would have said it. I feel like he's that type of guy, and he is that type of like arrogant to the point of stupidity where he would just come out and go, yeah, and I'll do it again. You know, I feel like he would just do that.